Stop the press, run for cover, oh my god, they're reversing the band. No, they're not. They're not reversing the original OG 1985 banned Air Jordan 1s completely. Let's say it that way. When I first started researching the sneaker, and if you know my channel, you know I research the sneakers before I sit down and talk about them. But when I first started researching these guys, which is the upcoming release of the Nike Air Jordan 1 Varsity Red, when I first started researching these guys, they were like, oh, they're flipping the band. And band, if you don't know, or even if you do know, here's a picture of those guys back behind me right here. It's a very black and a very red sneaker, except for the midsole. But it is a very black and very red sneaker. But if I flip that, not a very good click of the fingers, but anyway, you can see behind me here now is the upcoming release of that Varsity Red. And they do look like they flipped them a bit, right? It's like, oh, at first glance, ooh, are the colors completely flipped around? But they're not. And today what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to walk through step by step, piece by piece, which parts of the banned OG 1985 Jordan 1s are flipped in the upcoming release of these Varsity Reds and which are not, because it's pretty much half and half. Half of the sneakers being flipped and half of it hasn't. And today, that's what we're going to be looking at in the video as we talk about the upcoming release of the Nike Air Jordan 1 Varsity Red. This is the Talking About It 23 Sneaker Channel, Talking About It 23 Sneaker Channel. Des,毎日アップするので、毎日見てください. Every single every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews, and I leave the little mistakes I make in videos in. And nobody's ever commented about it, so I don't think it's a problem. So great, yay! I'll just leave those little mistakes in there and just keep on keeping on, which I'm going to do right now as we talk about the upcoming release of the Nike Air Jordan 1 Varsity Red. Fire sneaker. The release date says February 2020. The thing is that February 15th, 2020 is like, it's a bit like, was it November 11th, 1955 from the Back to the Future movies, and it was like a crossroads in the quantum universe or something like that. And it seems like February the 15th, 2020 is going to be, like a cross point for sneakers. Every sneaker in the world seems to be dropping on February the 15th. These guys are slated for February 2020, which means there's 28 days to choose from, but my bet is going to go with the February 15th with all the other fire heat sneakers that are coming down the line, including something that I'll be talking about tomorrow, which is the New Beginnings pack, and something I talked about 2 days ago, which was the Air Jordan 3 red cements. In fact, I'll put a link to those red cements right here. That was a fire sneaker. I just loved talking about those guys. But these guys, yeah, so all I know is February 2020, but my bet is on February the 15th. And what we're going to be doing is, like I said, talking about the parts of this sneaker which are the same and the parts of the sneaker which are different or flipped to the original OG bands from 1985. And the first place to start with is the toe box. And the toe box on an Air Jordan 1 is, it's like the center point of the shoe. It's the first place that you go to find the character of the shoe. It's the heart of the shoe, which is strange because it's on the toe. Usually it would be something a bit more central. But the toe box is what gives Air Jordan 1s their character, whether it's a black panel with a red toe box around it, or a red panel with a black toe box around it, or satin orange on black, or whatever, that is the character of the sneaker. That is the heart of the sneaker. And it is one of the major elements of these guys, and it is one of the parts that is flipped from the OGs. So the OGs look like this, with a red panel and a black toe box around it, and then if we flip that around and have a look at the upcoming Varsity Reds, you can see it is the total opposite. The Varsity Reds have a black panel with a red toe box around it. So that's a good example to start right off with from point number one of a place where, yes, they have flipped the bands, but there are places where they haven't. So let's pan back a little bit. We might as well just pan back on the Varsity Reds to get to the quarter line, a very distinctive part of Air Jordan 1 sneakers, that quarter line up there, which forms the kind of the foundation or the strength behind the lower lace locks and lace stays. And you can see on the upcoming Varsity Reds that it is itself red, and then if we do that flip again back to the bands, you can see it was black. So that is another point of difference between these guys. Now if I stay on the bands here, where you can see that little loop coming up to the lower half of the lacing system, we might as well just pan up. We'll pan up onto the lacing system itself and look at that. The lace stays that wrap around the lacing system on the bands here are black. What do you think they're going to be on the Varsity Reds? Let's have a look. Bang, right there you can see it's changed, and that too is now red. So that's 3 places to kick us off straight from the beginning, with the toe box, both parts of it, the toe box itself and the panel within it, both being flipped, the quarter line being flipped from black to red, and then the lace stays on the lacing system being flipped from black to red. But that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anywhere else on this sneaker that we're going to find, and we will look as we go through, and I'll probably go, oh, no, there's a place, but we'll look as we go through. But that's pretty much it. Those 3 parts of the sneaker, which make up about 1/3 of the sneaker, have been flipped from their OG color into this Varsity Red color. But then if we pan back, I can't remember what sneaker we're on right now, so whichever sneaker we're on right now, we'll pan back onto the mid-foot and the swoosh. And it doesn't matter which sneaker we're on, because on both of them, in fact, we're not panning back, we're panning down from the lacing system. It doesn't matter which one we're on, because they're both the same. They're both a black mid-foot panel with a red swoosh on the middle of it there. And we'll just keep going with this sort of line of movement so that you can see, and I'll keep flipping between the two so that you can see that when we get to the heel, you've got that very red heel cupping the entire section of the back part of the shoe on both of them again, flipping between the two. And then as we go up from that heel, you go past the back end of the swoosh, which was in red, and above that a black line, and onto the ankle support with the black wings logo on it. Red ankle support, black wings logo. Switching between the two here, you can see again that they are identical. And then you get to the top of the sneaker where the top line is, and it's a nice big black top line up there. Now of course there are some slight differences in structure and construction. I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about the colors itself or themselves, and they are the same. It's a black line, a black top line up there. Now I've done that pan where we've panned through the sneaker. What did I do? I went toe box, quarter line, lacing system, midfoot, heel, ankle, top line. I can't pan this, so I'm just going to have to flick it, but you can see the tongues on here are black tongues on both sneakers with red detailing on there, which is again, no change between the two. So effectively what you've got, and hopefully you've understood it from watching what I've just watching and listening to what we've been doing today, that the front kind of half, not even half, it's front third of the sneaker has been inversed or flipped or switched or whatever to the opposite colorway from before, but then everything from the swoosh and the midfoot back and up is just the same. I don't know if there's a way to see it, because when you look at the two, now I'll be doing that thing I sometimes do where I flip back and forward between the two sneakers very quickly, and you can see the two in contrast. When you do that, it's obvious where the changes are, and hopefully what you're looking at behind me right now is, like, on one side the ankle section, the back half of the sneaker staying pretty much the same, and then the front part of the sneaker is appearing to flick, because that's where the difference is. And hopefully you guys can pick that up and you guys can see that, and it isn't actually a complete flip of the sneaker. But if you just look at one of them and then the other without being able to compare, it's not as easy to see where the differences are and where the similarities are. So hopefully from today's video I've been able to show you guys that, so you've got a better understanding of what this upcoming Varsity Red looks like. You're not being misled by this flip or switch or whatever it is that some people are saying about these guys. It is not a perfect switch from the bands to the opposite colorway. I'm not sure why. Why not? Why didn't they go with a complete switch? I think that would have been kind of cool, but they didn't. They just went with the toe box switch and the kind of quarter line lacing system. But it doesn't stop it being a fire sneaker. In my opinion, I mean, I love it. I think it's a great looking sneaker. It's cool, and it's great that, red, black, and white. Let's go with the LeBron 17 infrared that I reviewed recently. So red, black, and white sneaker right there. I wasn't so complimentary about those. I love my LeBron 17s, but those infrareds I was a bit about. But there is a lot of red and black out there right now, red, black, and white, and these guys are right up there with them. They're a great looking sneaker, but personally the sneaker I talked about 2 days ago, the Jordan 3 Red Cements, that's still where my money is this season. They are clean, and if you haven't checked out that video, you'd be able to find it in the clicking up there or whatever, because I've already linked it to you guys. So yeah, those Red Cements are still number one for me in this season. Now, before I chip off, talking about the rare sneakers coming to the channel every Sunday, the Butter Movement and all that jazz, Shoe Butter with his amazing sneaker collection, boing, to look at an incredible sneaker collection full of grails and rare shoes. He brings one of those to the channel every Sunday. I drop hints throughout the week, Tuesday to Saturday, about what sneaker that's going to be. On Tuesday, I said quack, quack again. Yesterday, I said not track and field. And today, I'm saying grey suede. So if those three things, if you can work out what grail is coming to the channel on Sunday, hit me up with a comment down below and let me know. For now, though, it's time for me to sign off. I do this every single day, guys. Every single day, I drop you content, and I have done probably for, pretty close to 400 days straight. I've done daily content, and I continue to do it, and I do it every single day, and that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.